What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here. Know I'm a little behind schedule on my videos, but I've been pretty busy just trying to trade some people. I got some really big deals ongoing and some deals that I'm hoping to come through. But today I was going to bring you something a little different. I know I did say I'd be farming a whole bunch of daily maps in my last videos and I would be streaming it, but no one really popped in stream, so I end up getting some synth maps done instead. I end up doing about 30 or so synth maps. I got some interesting stuff, but what I really wanted to do today is I had been planning to re-gear my Dex Stacking ice shot. I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons. First, we did get that nice synth bow. The second is we actually got a update just the other day, like yesterday, that updated all old legacy cold deck stack bows, so their flat numbers matches. I'm actually on my already built character. I need to switch characters real quick. Boom. And we have decided to do that on our, Freylord Queen character, which is the one we had for like Lightning Arrow at one point, and now we're gonna do deck stacking Ice Shot again. We might still do Lightning Arrow eventually or something, but as of now, we have decided to kind of show you a little bit of how we go into building our characters, what it takes and everything like that. Here we have a relatively stripped down, aside from that, and maybe a couple things on our tree character. Only thing we have spec'd in currently is a Replica Conqueror's Efficiency and, a bunch of attributes. So, first thing we need to do, this is the result so far, by the way, not really a lot done. I've only done, I've done a bit. Like, I've done like 10, 15 maps. I actually took out all the bubblegum, and in one map I missed. I forgot my affinities were off, so yeah, this is what we got going so far, and pretty solid amount of scarabs and essences, but still more to come. Once I get it all done, you'll see the update. So let's see. First and foremost, I wanted to kind of show you what I found. We found an Intimidate on hit ring. This is going on our Tornado Shot. I did sell our full Tornado Shot build though, so I am going to be rebuilding it from scratch, from ground up, trying to get myself a new bow, which I have already offered on, and then craft it from there. He has it up for 200, and I've offered him a little bit over that in extra bubblegum. That's what I got. I did some spending, so you know what I mean? Gotta do what you gotta do. And that's how I end up, going so broke. And here's our deck stack bow that we're going to be using. Let's start with that. This is synthesized implicits of cold damage per dex, attack speed. Then we have elemental damage with attacks, attack pen, +1 socketed. Bow attacks fire 2 arrows, T2 dex, and crafted on attack speed. So we have insane attack speed still, some dex for flat gold, and everything we need there. Then we are going to find our increased dexterity headhunter. Do I have it here? It is on my other build, so we're actually going to go ahead and grab that. So this is the God of Ice Shot. We have to take this headhunter off and put on a different one. Now, I recently have sorted my tabs a little bit so I can kind of sift through things, but I'm just going to go over the gear and the bigger basics. Eventually, I will show you guys a build showcase of it, along with showing you the different bows, how they perform, how they feel, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and take this off. This is actually 1% less on this and less life, but this is our deck stacking headhunter, so we're going to put it back on our deck stacker. So you see our mini ranger characters. We like to play ranger a lot. And we're going to be using this bow for now, but eventually we will be using our harvest crafted bow. So now we put on this. This gives us another chunk of damage. Then there is, let's see. So actually, I could have just done this for now, because yeah, we're gonna do this for now because we have the mage bud. And then we go into our flasks, and the flasks are all going to be res flasks because every single piece of my gear is either going to be attributes, stats, damage, or something else. So we need some kind of form of, defense for reses. That's one. Let's see, sapphire. I know I have a whole set. Topaz, are you here? T-O-P. Ah, there we go. Topaz with evasion and ruby. R-U-B-Y, ruby. Ruby with attack speed. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, and then obviously we need quicksilver. And this is the process I go through. I have all my stuff already, set and laid out, but I just kind of wanted to show you, how I go about getting my gear set up. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple, but not everyone knows. There we go, let's get that. I guess that's the one I have. I don't know what happened to my increase effect ones. Let's grab this one because apparently I have a different effect on it. And let's go back to my currency tab. Ah, there it is. And 70% increase effect. Nope. It's not what I want. Stop it. Oh, that's fine. Alright. And then we get a life flask because we have them. Perfect. Alright. Then we won't worry about gems right now. For now, we're just going to show you a little bit about the gear we choose and why we choose it. Because we have Mage Blood, we have a little bit more freedom than normal builds. So we can kind of select our best of best DPS or attribute stacking stuff. Let's just do it this way. DXT, Dext. So now we have to look for our triple Dex rings. Let's see, this is Dex attributes. Synth Dex right here. It's perfect. And endurance charge attributes. Interesting. So put this on. Now for this build we want to be spell suppression capped, so we are going to be using a Chaos-Reighn, which happens to have 50 dex on it. Then the big thing we use is Fractal Thoughts. Have Ellie hit attack speed and Siege Boost to attack. We also, I think, have one more Fractal. Hold on. There it is down there. I think it's Blood Rage attack speed. Yeah, Blood Rage grants attack speed. And a Heres. Now, we had a Heres Ire with +1 arrow and stuff like that, but we traded it toward in a bunch of ads for a Mage Blood, so figured that was probably the better deal for us. Alright. Next thing we need to grab is our Dex gloves and boots. Let's see, it's gems, it's almost past, okay, so I think it's over here. So this is a pair of Dex gloves. Do we have any other Dex gloves? I think this is my synthesized Dex boots, right? Yeah, this is synthesized Dex boots, Dex strength, synthesized Dex life. Ah, that's right. I was gonna isling that. I need to finish that off. Okay. Here we go. We have Dex cannot be frozen, movement speed, int's just kind of whatever. Spell suppression, that's what we're looking for too. And then we have, see, this is Dex gloves. What tier Dex is it? I don't think I have a crazy pair of Dex gloves rolled up yet. Alright. Oh yeah, that's right. I know what boots I'm using. So let's put this back. Yeah, we're using that. And I guess we're just going to use the synthesizer, or the fractured, I keep saying the wrong thing, Dex gloves here. And as of now, we are at 910 Dex without any jewels in the tree. Now we can refund a couple of our points from our omniscience setup. And we can start speccing down here. Now you can do this build in two forms. First form is using the Lion Eye Fall, which is the bare basic form. I'm going to do it just for the sake of the video and whatnot. Let's go ahead and find my jewel tab. I think it's over here somewhere. Or there you go. My other jewel tab. So we are going to do, I don't have a corrupted blood one, do I? So we're going to go ahead and do damage pin, because we are not using omniscience, so pin matters. And let's see, what is our reses like? We are at 75, 53, 84. We still have a little bit that we can do though, so let's see, does this increase effect? Yes it is, we're good. Now we go, let's just look for rings. And I gotta find my other synthesized Dex ring. There's a synthesized Dex ring, that's not what I'm looking for. Dex, no. I need to craft this. Oh, well, do it later. Oh wait, is that it? Yeah, triple Dex, Chaos Res. Perfect. And bam. And then our last thing we have is an amulet. Dex stacking amulet. I gotta go find it now. Let's see. Reduce requirements is useless for now. On a reservation. Yeah, see, this process isn't something I normally want to show off to you guys, but it is what it is. There we go. We have percent dex, or percent dex attributes, damage per dex, and then the dex on top, on the bottom there. So we're gonna put that on. Now we're up to 1376. Let's see. So now, because we are past the way we are path, we have a Watcher's Eye here with base crit and grace. That's fine. So now we can put in our Inspired Learning. Boom. Alright. So. Now, let's see. It's been a while since I played the Dex Stat character, so I have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there. We have Spell Suppression chance is 100%. If I take off these two nodes, does it stay 100? 1, 2. Hold on, let me actually get some regrets too. Alright, 1, 2. 78. 92. Alright, we're at 92 with this, that's fine. And this is prevent 2, so let's see, this is evasion, armor, and evasion. So we need a evasion base with dex. Eventually we'll work on that. But yeah, so far we're looking pretty solid. We're at 1376. And because we are not using a fizz bow now, we can unspec these. Alright. And now we can take a voices, adds 3, put it at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can put 2 split personalities in. And we are going to use the tried and true Dex Max Life ones. And we want to put them as far as possible. Boom, boom. And we are at 1458 Dex. From here, we can put in Emperor's Cunning to go to 1517 Dex. So, one thing that I see a lot of builds doing is, well, let's say you don't want to run the Inspired Learning, you just want to run Mage Blood, be a, Mage Blood user, right? That's fine. Well, one of the biggest and easiest ways to do this is this. This brings me to 1733. However, we should have a better one. Oh, maybe not. Is this one the better one? Let's see, this is attack cast speed, 5% dex, avoid being stunned, evasion rating, 5% dex, projectile damage, This is a 10% dex one, it looks like. I think I have... Yeah, bleeding you inflicts so much faster. Okay, so this is 1700 dex so far. We can still push more. Obviously, if we drop the Mage Blood, we don't have reses though. So that's kind of where our problem is currently. Wait, which one is this? Demise? Yeah, this is Demise, making sure we have the right one. Alright. So another thing we can do is we can spend an extra point over here. Do this kind of pathing. And we actually save a point doing this pathing. And now our dex is 1763 still. Okay, so we have 1 point spare. And yeah, you can kind of see where this is going. We're trying to push 1800 dex, and it ain't the easiest thing, but it also ain't that hard. Like, you're not gonna bend over backwards to, find a good setup for this. Ah, here it is. Okay. This is my crazy one. So, this one goes back in here. Actually, I don't want this one in here. I want this one in my actual jewel tab. Alright. So now our dex is 1686. Let's see, there's a reason why though. I don't think I have any of the percent dex nodes spec. There's 20 flat, 5% here, 5% here. Okay, so yeah, there's 10% visible there, 20 flat, 5% here. So this is where all of our dex is usually centralized, is with this, brutal restraint. I don't think we can do this without taking out the Lion Eye Fall though, because the Lion Eye Fall ends up taking an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at about 10 points, and we don't want to use Inspired Learning if we're going to be point starved. So here we go. I know this is probably a different type of video than what you guys are used to. Most of the time I've just been like, look at me farm all of this crazy drops. Ain't it great? Well, sometimes if you're, sometimes to get to the point where you farm crazy drops, you gotta also be able to do the content to do that, right? So this is how I get around that real quick. Boom, boom. And now we're at 1911 dexterity. However, we are still missing cold res. How are we missing cold res, though? Well, luckily we can change fire to cold, I think, question mark. Also, this isn't divined to be a very good roll. That's another, like, 9 cold that we're missing. I'm so used to running omniscience builds that I can't even right now. I'm like, oh no, my reses. What do I do? So we're just gonna craft cold res on our amulet, and the 30 dex shouldn't be a big enough detriment to matter. Good enough. And now if we look, we are at res cap, it's 1851 dex. So this means that whatever build we do, we're going to have a lot of cold damage. And just as I want to show you here, this is our basic cold damage for our default attack. It is 5,885 through 10,839. This is insane. I'll be showing you guys a little more about it in due time. As of now, I just wanted to kind of show you my thought process on how I go building my builds. What I will say is that a lot of this is because I have all this and this is standard. So don't expect this to be like, oh yeah, you can just get this in League. No, a lot of this stuff like this, I don't even think these exist in League. As well as like, legacy heroes don't exist, and you can't get shaped fractal thoughts anymore, and I think you can actually, but either way. One thing I will say is that I will be showing you guys a build showcase of it pretty soon, of a full-on deck stack, along with showcasing this bow, as well as showcasing my other bow. This is what I wanted to show you guys as well. There is a cool update that was applied recently. Put these away real quick. And I did want to show you guys a couple things. So in our synth farming, obviously, I did mention we found an intimidate ring here. Actually, we found that too, but I'm just gonna put that away. Oh, excuse me. Is it right here? It's not. Found that too. We found synthesized % dex boots. Where is that? Chaos X? Yes, it is. Right. So, oh, I remember where they were. So, if you look right here for cell 3, Hans obviously, you can see that the flat cold numbers have been raised on Dex Stack. Not Dex Stack, the flat cold. Just said it too. And it goes from 149 to 204 to 300 to 438. Or 348, wow, my brain. And then we have a couple of these bows like that. The one I'm going to be using for sure is this one. I'm going to get this one divined up, and then I'll be using this one. Strictly speaking, this one should out DPS the bow I'm currently using. However, that just because I believe it has more crit chance, like 6.25. My new bow has more attack speed, and it'll give dex as well, though. So it's gonna be like a crapshoot on which one's gonna be actually better. I also need to get an enchant for this bow and get more attack speed. If I get the attack speed enchant, it'll bring it up to probably pretty close to 2.0. We'll see. But other than that, like there's not a whole lot I can do to this current bow that the brood fletch right there. So, and then there is one thing I am going to be crafting pretty soon here, and it's this. I just recently bought this today. This is a pretty insane base. I do plan to craft it, make it all GG, make it fun. Yeah, we'll see. I might do it on stream. I might do it on YouTube. We'll see exactly how much of currency I get, how much of what currency I get, and how long it takes me to get to that point. But for now, just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of, you know, my thought process on my builds, how I go about it. Obviously, I've been playing league after league, and I have a lot of stuff I can play, and just kind of play whatever I want, essentially, if I have it. But I mostly play bow builds, so I have a lot of bow characters. But yeah, this is just a little bit of about how I do things, and I actually initially planned to be like, oh hey, look guys, I finished all 40 of these maps, and here's the results in this page right here, and I got about 9 maps in, or 10 maps in, and I was like, alright, I need to take a break, and in that break, someone was like, I want to sell this, and someone else was like, I want to play Tornado Shot, and I was like, yeah, okay. I'll sell you my bow and my other stuff. I mean, honestly, the bow I had was just makeshift, whatever, fractured 2 arrows and essence spammed. I think I used like 10x to get it to where it was, and I was like, alright, cool, well, whatever, let's just call it a day there. And it did all content, it was fun, but, you know, it's time to move on. I play different builds like every other day. Another thing I did do is I sold my Flicker Strike to a friend, and he was really enjoying that, so, you know, it's good. Yeah. I don't know if I'll have a second video today. If I do, it'll be after my stream. I do hope you guys will join me for my stream. It'll be, let's see, again, about 7:30 Central? Or, I don't remember. I think I'm in Pacific. Yeah, 7:30 Pacific, which is about an hour and 45 minutes from now. If you guys want to join me, I will see you there. If you guys like my content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, take it easy, and have a good one, guys.